What's up, nerds? Back with another video, a Zümboxing video. And actually, I usually say what's up, nerds, for my YouTube videos. And this is like a Zümboxing video where we don't really just box. So I don't know if that reference will hit with anybody. But anyway, if you cannot tell by the audio, we are testing a new DJI microphone. You can Bluetooth it right into your camera, and it solo charges, and it's something that I'm going to be traveling, so I figured I would test it out to see if it works. And so, in addition to the traveling aspect, why that applies to this video and this mic and everything, and that's because we are going to be doing I've got downstairs, I'm in the downstairs room, we've got the bag. I might use the bag just for distance sizing. But today we're going to do a less of a boxing, more of a breathing, more of a Tai Chi martial arts flow type video, going to really break down the mentality and the physical aspect of punches, and also because it's a rest day, also because it's a Yankee day, also because the gym is busy. And so we're going to be recording an actual boxing video tomorrow night, Thursday. But today, currently, the gym's taken and everything. So anyway, that's enough preface. We're going to start off by getting body weight warm-ups, right? Because there's nothing stopping you from doing body weight squat. There's nothing stopping you from doing push-ups. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need anything like that for that. I don't know if I might have to go into the back to do the push-ups so you can see me doing the push-ups. But essentially what we're going to be doing is more of the blood flow, more of the mental aspect that goes into Zümboxing, and just go through the motions. Very similar to Tai Chi, because something that I talked about in the previous learning of Zümboxing and the mastery and the art that goes behind everything like this that we're doing, right? Part of it I talked about was the old man martial arts and the Chinese, Asian, I guess in general, martial arts movies, where you have an old master, right, who is able to move deceptively quick and able to perform feats that are you wouldn't exactly expect him to, and that's because he has spent years training his internal chi, his internal ki, right? And my understanding of that in real life is essentially that he has been practicing his inner core strength and practicing his ability to keep his body tight, and while tight first, but then that tightness, once you've practiced keeping your blood, and by tight I mean your body's blood flow flowing according to your mind, once you keep that blood flow and that mental combination, and you've gotten that technique down, and you've practiced it for long enough, you are able to move with intent at a rate that most people wouldn't expect, right? So that's kind of basically the practical application of that, right? Is you are able to, something that Jackie Chan used to do was he would take eggs in his fists and he would smash cinder blocks, and then the eggs he opened up and the eggs would be perfectly fine, right? And that's because he is creating this fist, maintaining this fist pressure, this, keeping, he's not holding the egg. The egg is resting inside of this cage, and his fists, there's a constant structure, there's a constant strength that his head is, and his body, by by association is maintaining. So when he's punching down, he's not thinking about not crushing the egg. He's thinking about the strength of the caged fist, and the egg is just along for the ride, right? So that's why, really, what we're practicing and the goal with Zümboxing, because sometimes it just looks like I'm moving around, walking back and forth, throwing punches. It looks like I'm jabbing. It doesn't, I mean, sometimes I try to emphasize the twisting. Sometimes I try to emphasize certain aspects of Zümboxing. However, similar to Tai Chi, it's not obvious unless you're physically in person. And it's not obvious to someone who hasn't practiced. However, when you perform Tai Chi and you participate in Zümboxing, perform Zümboxing, right? If you had something that you'd see sometimes in martial arts movies, is the master would be training the student, and the student will throw a punch, and the master will push the arm. And that means the student is not performing the technique how they should be, or they're not properly thinking of what they need to be doing. Because if you're throwing you come in, boom, you're throwing a proper punch, someone should not be able to move your hand, because you are thinking and moving with intent. Boom. Right? And so Tai Chi, they sometimes, like a very simple Tai Chi, if you've seen the movie Hot Rod, right? It's the carrying of the ball, taking of the ball, the pushing of the ball. Another one, you do it outwards. You're holding the ball, and then you're pushing the ball out, right? When you're doing this motion, your chest should feel extreme activation, right? Your wrists and your forearms, you should feel a strong stretch. Your legs, you should feel the activation in your quads. You should feel the activation in your glutes. Because if I was to put a weight of resistance against my arms right now, or if someone was to push against me while performing that motion, you would have to apply 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds of pressure, because again, it's all in the mind. It's all the mental, right? You are moving with intent. You are controlling your body. So we'll come over here to the bag a little bit, just to use the bag a little bit, just to practice distance. Because again, make sure we've got a good distance with our fists, right? Because now, boom, there we go. A nice, good distance away. And that distance is right where the bag is at the very end. And that's the perfect striking distance. Because you want to be for optimal, pushing people in some situations is nice, right? However, the perfect punch, the strongest punch, is the one that transfers all of the energy into the opponent. That is the punch that causes maximum damage. That is the punch of internal chi, internal ki, right? And it's not easy. It's a strong workout. Right now, my quads are fucking killing me. My chest is activated. My back is activated. I'm starting to get up a little bit of a sweat because, well, partially I am wearing sweat attire, right? But partially is because, again, it's all intended in movement with intent, moving with intent, acting with intent. And so I still haven't even done the body weight exercises yet. I've just been moving and explaining the martial arts aspect of it. And so we'll do a little bit of stretch backwards. Oh yeah. A little bit of stretch forwards. Hopefully some of this is making a little bit of sense. It's not, for me, it's not, I'm not perfect with it. I'm just doing my best to explain. I have nothing, because, again, all of you guys are on the internet, right? It's tough for me to, again, this is all stuff that if you were in person, it would be easy for you to touch my body and feel the heat, feel the blood, feel the energy, right? And so explaining it is not my strength, I will admit. The best I could do is just keep talking and hope that something will click. And again, part of doing all of this and Zümboxing and everything, training in the gym, strength training in the gym, it is extremely beneficial because we'll do a little bit in a second, but push-ups, like you just saw, this movement, activating the chest, pushing the ball out, same thing with throwing punches. You've got arms back, coming out, boom, full extension, double fist punch, right? That is, you could do a push-up. You could do a chest machine. You could do a back row or a low row machine. And all of those machines, if you are thinking about the combination of all of this, it will translate. Because again, when you're Zümboxing, right? A lot of this stuff, you could just do simple ins and outs, right? You don't have to be wailing on the bag. There was a couple videos I did where literally all I was doing was walking back and forth and then jabbing out as I'm walking, right? And all of that, because I don't have to focus heavily on the legs, all of those videos, I was focusing on making full direct flush contact with the bag. And you saw in those videos, the bag was swaying a lot, and that's because I'm transferring that energy in like the optimal way. And it's all without, the best part is it's without putting intense pressure on your wrists. It's without putting, pressure, you're not tearing any of the muscles in your gloves. And hold on, let me, so let's just do a little, boom, tighten this up a little bit. Okay. So let's do a little bit of boxing punches, right? Nice and slow, right? Get myself a good distance away from the bag. Have a nice solid horse stance. And all I'm doing is nice coming in and out. I'm even a little bit too far back. That's okay. Because I'm pulling my arm back, pushing my arm forward. You could do straight up and down, more Wing Chun punches, right? Or you can have the punches back with your palms up, and then right before the point of contact, you are twisting your hand, right? And really getting that torque, really transferring that power right at the end, right? And the nice thing I like about the twist punches is that you're coming right back. You're right out and you're right back in. Right out, right back in. And that's how you know, again, you've got a good distance to the bag, because the bag's not shaking. I'm not pushing the bag. It's chilling. I'm just coming right in, perfect distance, tapping, and then coming right back out. And you're focusing again. Nice solid core, nice strong horse stance. And all we're doing is nice in and out. But again, I'm not going to have the bag where I'm going on the trip, right? So we'll do a little bit slower and just pretending like the bag's here, right? I mean, I've got the bag in this spot, but nice and slow. Got my fists up. You can have your fists in. You know, you can have shoulders relaxed, back, head back relaxed, right? Nice and tight. You're pretending like you're squeezing your back, and you can come out. Go a little bit closer. Boom, come out. Boom, come back. Nice, slow and strong. You're moving. You're squeezing all of your muscles. You're extending your muscles out, or you can have them out, right? Your hands up, and you could be pushing your tricep out, coming back in, pushing your tricep out, coming back in. You could throw in a little twist, come back in, go out, a little twist, come back in. And now, because we've been talking about it for a while but haven't done it, you could do a couple push-ups. Nice. And so for me, you do push-ups a couple ways. Obviously, there's a gajillion different ways to do push-ups. For me right now, I'm just going to be doing hands neutral grip or hammer curl grip, however you like to think about it, aka your palms are facing each other, you know, like you're picking something up, right? And then picking something up, make the fist nice, right kind of navel length, a little bit mid-chest, right? For me, the way my bone structure is it's below my chest, between my navel, and all I'm doing is push-ups on my knuckles, up and out. So I'm not pushing down, right? I'm not pushing up. I'm pushing out and up a little bit. Out and up a little bit. So they start down below and they end up kind of nipple height, right? And again, that's because we're training, strength training, but also training for throwing a punch. You throw a punch, boom, nice up and out, boom, nice up and out. And then, because again, you know, let's say we're doing the whole thing in practice, right? Boom, you got one leg in front of the other, one leg in front of the other, right? Your arms are back or your arms are up. Let's just say our arms are back, right? We're starting from the ground, we're turning, nice straight up and out, ending right in front of us, right? Boom, 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 right? So that's what we're doing with the push-ups, that same mid, kind of lower to middle motion, all right? So let's just do a couple push-ups, nice and easy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we'll do very similarly, and you can do one foot in front of the other. I'm going to just be doing basic foot together squats, but now we're just going to do some squats, and really what we're focusing on is a nice tight core, right? And we're really focusing on the glute, the quad, and the feet pulling apart the ground. So kind of backwards actually. So we're starting with the feet, nice tight, right? You should feel your glutes maybe second, right? The glutes and the quads are kind of at the same time because you're going to be moving during it, but it's the feet first ripping. You've got your glutes squeezed, your quads, where you feel them at the bottom, and then nice, controlled, you're pulling apart the ground with your feet, and your body is, your quads and your glutes are, I see it following along, right? But they're activated. They're following back. When you do it, you'll see what I mean when you do it. So just do it, right? So we'll get a little side shot. So my feet, nice, gripped, spreading. You're trying to rip the ground apart. My knees are not facing too far out, right? The path that they go on, the knees, stays above my feet. You don't want it to be, we're not going all the way out like a duck or a bird. They're staying in line with your toes. You should just feel, you should feel like your feet are pointing crazily out, and you should feel like your knees are going crazy out, but when you look down at it, everything's in line. It's just a cue to help your glutes and your quads activate. So we'll go over here, we'll come back. So we'll get a nice good grip. Actually, I gotta go like this because my floor is in the way a little bit. There we go. We can do it from the side over here. So, boom, squeezing the ground apart. I've got a little bit of adductor activation on the inside of my legs. And I'm literally pulling down, my quads are activating. And now I feel my glutes, right? And then I'm squeezing as I go back up. And you need to have a tight core, because if you don't have a tight core, you'll end up either leaning backwards or leaning forwards. But there we go. Nice and slow. And it should be a nice burn. If you're letting your body just fall down into the squat, that's wrong. And you know you're doing it wrong because when you're falling into the squat, traditionally your knees won't be above your feet, right? So that's how you know you're doing it right, because your knees are going to spread and follow the way that your feet are pointing. So we've got that, boom, and we're just nice, slow, squeezing on the way down, squeezing on the way up, and just a good, I like to keep my arms out because my body bone structure for squatting is not ideal and it's tough to balance. So I keep my arms in front to help me balance. And really, doing this without shoes is the best because your toes really can grip. Woo! That's a good burn. Okay, so we're now gonna do essentially another circuit of that, where we do Tai Chi, we do some push-ups, we do some squats, and then that's pretty much it. After that, I'm gonna shower, get ready for a Yankee game. Again, the goal of today is just a blood flow, get a little bit of sweat going. Later tonight, before bed, I'm gonna hit the exercise bike. If you are watching this at a gym, or if you just have something you can exercise with as well, obviously after this, when you've got leg activation, core activation, great to get on a bike, great to get on a Stairmaster, or just while you're on the Stairmaster, be doing the same thing. Thinking about turn the Stairmaster speed down and think about every step is a pushing down with your leg. It's not going to be the same as gripping, because obviously you're not pulling up the Stairmaster, but that pushing down is another great activation cue. So anyway, let's do it just nice. Get ourselves a nice horse stance. So we start in the middle with our feet, right? Then we're gonna go flare out with our toes, flare out with our heels, flare out with our toes again, and then come to the middle. That's a good horse stance, right? Then we're going to squeeze down, just like we did with the squat, right? And now we're pulling our arms back. Pulling our arms back, and then pushing out with our chest, right? And if you want, again, when you come back in, squeezing back, you can push out and twist, and then come back. And then we're pushing out and we're twisting, and then we're coming back. Then you could have your hands open, your palms up, and you could be pushing out, right? And you're coming back, squeezing back. And then you're pushing out and twist. And then Then you can do deflection techniques with your tricep. Your tricep is guiding your arm. Someone comes on at you, this is a traditional wax on, wax off, come out, wax on tricep, wax off, nice squeezing. Don't forget to breathe, nice. Right, nice and simple. Let me come back over here. We're gonna do our 10 little push-ups. Again, we're pushing from our kind of navel area up to our like chest-ish area. Nice 10 push-ups. And real quick, we're going to continue to squat. Just some things going on my phone. So as I'm squatting, okay, real quick. Here we go. 10. Squeezing all the way down, making sure my knees are staying over. Make sure I gotta keep my core tight. Get a good squeeze. Nice and slow. Woo-wee. All right, there we go. I'm gonna get ready for a Yankee game. Later tonight, we're going to be on the bike. Hopefully the sound with the new microphone is good. And smoke grass, eat ass, be excellent to each other, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces.